Welcome, Stephen. So are you opening 80% of those centers that had to close?
So we absolutely are starting our reopening plans. And so families and employers that have always relied upon us are going to start to see us reopening our center throughout the summer and into the fall, and certainly going to be doing that in a very safe and healthy way for children and families.
How do you do that?
So we have been operational in 150 centers throughout this crisis. So I think we have now deep experience in understanding how to operate childcare centers in a healthy and safe way. And what we did right at the outset of this crisis is we implemented protocols that are very specifically aligned with making sure that we can keep children and families safe. So we certainly are following CDC guidelines as well as local health authorities. And in addition to that, we have a direct relationship with Dr. Kristen Moffitt from Boston Children's Hospital, who has helped us to ensure that we put protocols in place that absolutely keep everyone safe.
Are you expecting a change in demand with so many people now working from home and many employers allowing people to work from home, even in states that have reopened?
So I think it's a great question. At least what we're hearing back, and we are certainly working very closely and listening very closely to our employer clients, and then also doing surveys of families that were previously enrolled in our centers to understand what those patterns are going to look like. And what we're hearing from families in particular is that the last couple of months have been incredibly challenging as they've tried to stay productive at work, and at the same time, they have been the primary caregiver for their children. And so on balance, families are very excited for us to reopen, regardless of whether or not their offices are reopening, because they ultimately are looking for a safe and healthy place for their children to grow and learn.
Yeah, tell me about it. You know, we talked to Melinda Gates a few weeks ago, and she was making the point that the key to reopening, one of the keys economically, is to fix what she called a broken childcare system in this country, that in so many cases, it's unaffordable for parents to send their kids to these kind of daycare centers. And in many cases, the daycare centers themselves will not be able to reopen as a result of how hard they've been hit over the crisis. How do you see the system in this country working for everyday Americans?
So for the past, 30 years, we have been focused on partnering with employers because we see them as an important source of financial support for employees and for working parents in the process of childcare. And so I think it is very challenging to think about what non-supported childcare centers look like and the tuitions and fees that they have to charge, because again, delivering high quality childcare is expensive. And so in most childcare settings across the country, all of those costs are borne by the individual family. We, for 30 years, have gotten employers to invest billions of dollars behind the idea of supporting their employees and childcare in a way that I think is really critical as we look forward to the success of both employers, employees, and ultimately the equation between the two.